Little controversy that's brewing, and here's what Elisabeth Hasselbeck had to say about Erin Andrews. For those of you who don't know, Erin Andrews is a sports reporter at ESPN. She was stalked by a man who videotaped her through the peephole in her room and tried to sell the video. He was convicted. He did time. But now she's on Dancing with the Stars. And Elisabeth Hasselbeck had the following comment, and if you're watching this at theaccessofsteelshow.com, you're going to see a couple of the outfits that she was talking about. Here's Elisabeth Hasselbeck.
For the past, 3 weeks, she's been wearing, next to nothing, okay? So she's come in, and I think in light of what happened, and as illegal and as inexcusable as it was for that horrific guy to go in and try to peep on her in her hotel room, I mean, in some way, if I'm him, I'm like, man, I just could have waited 12 weeks and seen this a little bit less without the prison time.
Now, when questioned about this, here's what Erin Andrews had to say.
What was your first reaction?
I cried.
So, for a little bit of opinion on this, we go to Tom Hanks.
Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Why don't you leave her alone, Jimmy?
Oh, you zip it, Doris. Rogers Hornsby was my manager, and he called me a talking pile of pig shit. And that was when my parents drove all the way down from Michigan to see me play the game. And did I cry? No. And you know why?
No.
Because there's no crying in baseball. There's no crying in baseball.
That's right, Erin Andrews. There's no crying in baseball. Hey, folks, you're a sports reporter, Erin. Toughen up. I'm just saying. You opened yourself up to this criticism. Now, let me address the point, and let me play the point first. It was made on Bill O'Reilly's show in discussing this. And by the way, Geraldo Rivera made this point even harder. But here's the point the way it was made here before I get into what Geraldo said.
That's like saying that a woman who wears a short skirt deserves to be raped. Okay?
All right.
Now, Geraldo accused Elisabeth Hasselbeck of basically saying, she brought this on herself by what she's wearing. You can't bring something on yourself after the fact. If you run a red light this week, that doesn't bring an accident on you last week. Okay, Geraldo, since you can't seem to figure it out on your own over there. Obviously, Elisabeth Hasselbeck is not saying this. What happens is we take a very valid point and twist it. And here's the valid point. There are people who have made statements like, a woman got raped, but look at what she was wearing. It's not justifying the rape. It's not saying she was inviting the rape. You know what? I'm going to try to do this in a non-mean-spirited way. Rather than just attacking people because they're not thinking, let me try to help you think for yourself. Now, I know right now I'm on dangerous ground, and you're sitting here saying, Steve, you're a mean-spirited guy. There's no way you can pull this off. Oh, yes, I can pull this off, and I'm about to do it. I'm walking a tightrope. Follow me here. Let's say that I pull into a parking lot. And I go into a store and I leave my car in the parking lot with the key in the ignition, the engine running, and the windows rolled down. Now, am I asking somebody to steal my car? Am I going and saying, man, I hope somebody steals my car? No, I'm probably in a hurry. And I'm thinking, man, I'm going to just run in here and grab something and run right back out. My car will still be here. But it's still not very smart to do. Now, let's say there are 10 other cars in this parking lot. All of them, the cars are locked, the keys are not in them, the windows are up, and they got a club on the steering wheel. Which car's going to get stolen? That's all I'm saying here, folks. There's nothing mean-spirited about that. Chances are the car with the windows down, the key in the ignition, the motor running, is the one that's going to get stolen. I'm just saying. Now, am I saying that a woman who wears a miniskirt is asking to get raped? No, of course she didn't want to get raped. What I'm saying is, when presented with the choice of wearing a burqa and being covered from head to toe, or wearing a miniskirt and a low-cut top, if you are a guy who is so inclined to become aroused at the sight of this particular woman dressed that way, because some women aren't going to arouse guys. If you're Rosie O'Donnell out there, you can dress as scantily as you want. You're not going to get raped. It's just not going to happen. So go ahead and put your clothes back on, Rosie. You might have been hoping. It ain't going to happen. You can dress as scantily as you want. You can leave as much hanging out as you want. Guys are going to run the other way. But let's say you're an attractive woman, and you dress in a short skirt, and a low-cut top, and you got everything hanging out there for guys to see. And there's 10 other women where you are, and they're in burqas, and they're all covered up. Only thing you can see is a slit where their eyes are. That's all you can see. Which one's going to get raped? Am I saying it's the one in the miniskirt? No, I'm not saying if you park your car in that parking lot, it will get stolen. What I'm saying is if a car thief walks up, your car is the one that's going to get taken. Just like if a rapist walks by that building where them 11 women, one of them scantily dressed, 10 of them in burqas are, the one that's scantily dressed is most likely going to get raped. It's a valid point. Now, what Elisabeth Hasselbeck was saying here was, this guy didn't have to go to the lengths that he went to see this. And there's a valid point to be made to Erin Andrews here. It's what you're wearing. Nobody's saying that you've invited this stalker on yourself. What we're saying is you just had a situation. You just had an experience where you were stalked by a guy who videotaped you in your room half naked. And now you're going to go out on television half naked. Is it a good idea? Probably not. Now, I understand Dancing with the Stars, this is what they wear, this is the kind of thing they do, and that's fine. But for those of you who want to criticize Elisabeth Hasselbeck and ask, is she just trying to get ratings for her show by starting up this controversy? Let's just say for a second she is. Ask yourself why the heck Erin Andrews is on Dancing with the Stars anyway. And the only reason she is because of the publicity that she got from the stalking case. So if it's okay for Erin Andrews herself to capitalize from her stalking case, then it is certainly okay for Elisabeth Hasselbeck to do the same thing. And for you liberals that came out and Barbara Walters demanded an apology, listen to the clip. Barbara Walters is laughing when she says it. They're all laughing. Nobody come out and said, hey, Elisabeth, that's uncalled for. You need to apologize. No, it wasn't until Erin Andrews, there's no crying in baseball, complained about it. It made me cry. So now we have to apologize. But at the point of attack, at the time that it happened, it was a big joke. Everybody was laughing. I don't have a problem with it. I think it was funny, and I think it was a valid point.